Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Ainhoa and Marcos, for joining today.
Thank you.
You,
Thank you.
Bruno.
Announcement from Prime Minister's Pedro Sanchez, where he said that he was proposing that non-EU passport holders who were non-residents in Spain, if they were going to purchase property in Spain, their tax on property purchase should be 100% of the value of the property. What do you think about this announcement?
Okay, I think that first, this is crazy. And two, it seems to be no sense, okay? Because it's true that it's undeniable that at this moment, I think that we have some problems in the housing market situation of Spain. But I think that is not true at all, that this is due to the foreigners coming to Spain. Okay, so I think that the public authorities need to look for solutions, okay, but they cannot attribute all the responsibility to foreigners buying properties in Spain. This is nonsense, no?
So let's talk a little bit more about this tax. What is the Impuesto de Transmisiones Patrimoniales, or ITP, and what are the average tax rates across different Spanish regions? And if Mr. Pedro Sanchez's announcement were going to be true, what would be the difference?
Okay, the thing is, this tax is the tax that a taxpayer need to pay when buying a property, when buying real estate in Spain. No new property, just used property, second-hand property, second-hand properties. Okay, so this tax, the tax rate of this tax depends on the region of Spain. We can find some regions in Spain with a 6%, for example, 7% in Andalusia. In some other regions, we can find like a progressive tax rate between 5 or 6, 7 until 10 or 11. So it depends on the different regions of Spain. We can find also 4% in some regions like Basque Country, or reduced tax rate attending to familiar situations or professional situation. For example, for companies buying used property to then sell the properties again, they could apply for a 2% tax.
And let me add that this tax, people who are thinking about buying property in Spain, they really need to budget it accordingly, because at least in Andalusia, and I don't know if this is everywhere in Spain, you have only 60 days from the moment you sign the property deed to pay this tax. As you said, for example, here in Andalusia, where I'm based at, if you buy a property, you have to pay 7%.
Yeah.
And you have 60 days. No? So if you sign on the 1st of January, on the 1st of March, that's the limit to pay it. And this is very different from, for example, countries like USA, where you actually pay this tax when you sell the property.
Yeah.
So really, like, you can buy a property, you can hold it for 10, 20 years and make money from it and then pay the tax. But here in Spain, they'll
That is
want the
better
tax.
design. That is better, yes.
Imagine you buy it, you buy it, you rent it out for 10, 20 years, you make the money to pay the tax, and then you pay the tax when you sell it, right? But here, you have to consider, if you plan to buy a property, you have to consider that you have to pay this tax right away, right after you buy the property. This is also an important difference. I believe it's worth mentioning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's convenient to take this into account, because when someone is planning to buy a house or property, needs to plan that there are some costs, particularly the tax costs for buying the property. Okay, then it's true that when selling the property, if the seller gets a capital gain, I mean a difference in the value between the acquisition value and the price given to the sale, needs to pay a tax, a capital gain tax for this increment of the value, or a small plusvalía municipal for selling the property. But in regards to the acquisition of a property, we need to take into account this ITP or TPO tax.
What are the real chances for that this announcement from Pedro Sanchez, Spain's prime minister, what are the chances that this is going to be true, that this is going to turn into a law or a rule?
From my point of view, just my opinion, this is just a political announcement, okay? And it's really difficult to get this in a law or in a rule in Spain. Why? Because the different countries of the European Union, they cannot approve any kind of law. They are subject to the European law, okay, that is over the law of each country. And particularly, the European law says that in European countries applies the freedom of movement of capitals. Okay, Article 63 of the European Treaty says that a country cannot offer worse conditions to a citizen, okay, attending to residency or citizenship reasons. Okay, so theoretically, a European or a citizen or a third country citizen has the right to apply the law in the same condition that Spanish citizen. So technically, these kind of proposals are not acceptable under the European law context. And additionally, Spain has many treaties with a lot of countries, okay, in which it said that in order to protect the foreign investment in Spain, I mean, inbound or outbound investment in other countries from part of Spanish citizens or companies, okay, the treaty says that a foreigner cannot get, that the foreigner has the right to apply the same tax law and to pay taxes or to find the same conditions, okay, despite the fact of what the citizenship or the residency of the citizen or the company is. So I think that we have a supranational law and treaties that avoid to introduce this kind of tax treatment to foreigners buying properties in Spain.
Joining together with yesterday's video and interview with Ainhoa, because we are really following very closely the events about the Golden Visa. Probably you know that the Golden Visa program is being phased out completely from April 3rd, 2025. And yesterday we addressed this issue because if you plan to invest in real estate in Spain, you're still on time, because you don't need to really finalize the operation, the purchase. You can just sign a contract called Contrato de Arras, which is a promise to buy the contract, and you need to pay a deposit in order to make this contract valid. But with this contract, you would still be able to apply for the Golden Visa, provided you have all the remaining paperwork as well. Yes, and I invite you to watch the interview that I did yesterday to Ainhoa, because it is really interesting.
Yes, I think that the experience with Golden Visa has shown that offers, a good situation for a relocation, okay, without any kind of restriction regarding migratory law. And so the regime has been, or the Golden Visa regime has been so friendly, okay, in all this kind of process of relocation to Spain. And so my invitation will be, or my recommendation will be, okay, let's check what the opportunities for buying a property in this last month of Golden Visa are, okay. And personally, I would avoid any kind of concern, okay, about this announcement of the government. Okay, and experience has shown, for example, in Germany or Austria, they have some similar experience, okay, with some specific laws that could mean restriction to the investment in real estate from part of foreigners. And the European General Court has said that this is against European law, and this law or this rule were eliminated. No, so do not worry about this announcement, okay, and don't avoid the last months of the application of Golden Visa for these reasons.
Yes, and I think Golden Visa, for an immigration perspective, gives a lot of flexibility. You can not live in Spain if you don't want, but even if you live, you can work, have a company. So any situation is acceptable. So the strategy for taxes is very easy, because whatever the tax advisor needs for the Beckham law to be applied, we can do it in the immigration perspective also.
Yeah, and additionally, I think that, I don't know what the opinion of Ainhoa is, but the truth is that a lot of people coming to Spain, they stay in Spain after the 5 years of the Beckham law, or they continue living in Spain because it's a good country to live at, and people feel really comfortable, and I think they are really happy living in Spain. So Golden Visa, I think that is the best way to have a residency permit in Spain, and additionally, it can lead to getting the Spanish citizenship, okay, if the citizen lives in Spain for some years now. So I think that the recommendation would be to open the eyes and to try to do something, to plan any kind of relocation, attending to Golden Visa in these last days or weeks of application of the regime.
As you can see, you are in very good hands, expert hands, if you reach out to Ainhoa and her team. If you're applying for digital nomad visa, golden visa, we are still on time. Non-lucrative visa, any kind of visa, residency or immigration procedure, I highly recommend Ainhoa and her team. They will align the immigration side of things and tax side of things so that you can fulfill your goals in the long term if you want to move to Spain. Thank you so much for joining today, Ainhoa and Marcos. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Oh, and one more thing. Apparently YouTube says you're gonna love watching this video right here. I think you should watch it.